Your dog walks up to you with their favorite squeaky toy clenched in their mouth, tail wagging, eyes locked on yours. You think they want to play. You reach for the toy and they pull back, or they drop it at your feet and stare at you, waiting. Most people think this is about the game. But what if your dog is trying to tell you something far more important than fetch? Subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see every toy your dog ever brings you. Number 1. The gift that isn't about playing. When your dog approaches with a toy, something specific happens in their brain that has nothing to do with wanting you to throw it. Research from canine behavioral laboratories shows that the act of carrying an object to a trusted person triggers the same neural pathways associated with resource sharing in pack structures. Your dog's ancestors didn't play fetch in the wild. They brought food back to the den, shared kills with pack members, carried objects as offerings to establish social bonds. The toy in your dog's mouth right now is activating a circuit that's millions of years old, and it's saying something about how they see you in their world. Watch what happens when your dog brings the toy. Their pupils dilate slightly. Their breathing changes. Researchers studying canine behavior have measured oxytocin spikes during these moments, the same bonding hormone that floods a mother's system when she looks at her child. Your dog isn't starting a game. They're performing a ritual of connection, bringing you something they value because you are valuable to them. The toy is a translation of something they can't say with words. Number 2. Why they won't always let go. You reach for the toy, and your dog pulls back, holding it tight in their jaws, but still standing right there in front of you. This frustrates most owners because it seems like mixed signals. Studies on possession behavior reveal something unexpected. When a dog brings you a toy but resists giving it up, they're not being stubborn or trying to tease you. They're experiencing a neurological conflict between two powerful drives. The first drive is affiliative. They want to share this object with you, to create a moment of mutual focus. The second drive is communicative. Behavioral scientists have found that dogs who hold onto toys during these interactions are actually trying to extend the encounter. The toy becomes a bridge. As long as they hold it and you're engaged with them, the connection continues. The moment they drop it, there's a risk you'll throw it away, and the interaction becomes about retrieval rather than togetherness. Your dog has learned that holding the toy keeps you present, keeps your attention locked on them, turns a simple exchange into a sustained moment of contact. They're not refusing to share. They're trying to make the sharing last. Number 3. The dogs who just drop and stare. Some dogs do the opposite. They walk up, drop the toy directly at your feet, and then sit back and watch you with an intensity that feels almost uncomfortable. This behavior reveals something about how dogs understand giving. Research into canine cognition shows that dogs who present objects without physical contact are demonstrating a sophisticated form of deference. In pack dynamics, lower-ranking wolves would present food to higher-ranking members by depositing it and backing away. Your dog isn't degrading themselves. They're elevating you. When your dog drops the toy and creates that small physical distance, studies measuring canine heart rate variability show their parasympathetic nervous system activates. They're in a state of calm attention, waiting to see what you'll do with their offering. Ethologists who study gift-giving behavior in social animals have documented this across species. The gift is a test of relationship security. Your dog is saying, "I trust you enough to give you something I value, and I trust you'll do something good with it. Maybe you'll engage with me. Maybe you'll acknowledge the gesture." The stare isn't demanding. It's hopeful. They've completed their part of the ritual, and now they're waiting to see if you understand what they've just done. Number 4. The specific toy matters more than you think. Your dog owns 7 toys, but they always bring you the same ratty tennis ball or that squeaker that barely works anymore. The selectivity isn't random. Behavioral research on object preference in dogs has found that the items they repeatedly bring to you carry scent information that activates their memory centers. That specific toy has been in their mouth during moments of excitement, comfort, or joy. It smells like their saliva, like the times you played together, like the neurochemical cocktail of happiness. When your dog brings you that particular object, they're bringing you evidence of positive experiences. Think about what happens in your dog's olfactory system. They have roughly 300 million scent receptors compared to your 6 million. Every time they pick up that toy, they're re-experiencing every good moment associated with it, and they want to share that feeling with you. Studies on scent-mediated bonding show that dogs will preferentially bring comfort objects to people they're trying to strengthen relationships with. The toy isn't just a thing. It's a compressed history of joy. And your dog is trying to hand you that history because they want you to be part of it. To add another layer of good feeling to an object that already means something to them. Number 5. When they bring it during your stress. Pay attention to when your dog brings you toys. Research teams studying stress contagion in dogs have made a remarkable discovery. Dogs can smell cortisol, the stress hormone, in human sweat and breath. When your cortisol levels spike, your dog's stress response activates in tandem. Studies using saliva samples from both dogs and owners show their stress hormones mirror each other within minutes. But here's what matters. When dogs detect stress in their owners, a subset of them respond by bringing toys. This isn't distraction, it's intervention. Behavioral scientists have found that dogs who offer toys during human stress episodes are attempting to initiate a pattern that has previously reduced tension. If playing or engaging with a toy has ever helped you feel better, your dog has logged that information. Their brain has connected the sequence of events. Human shows stress. Toy is introduced. Human's physiology shifts toward calm. Cortisol decreases. Your dog is bringing you a prescription. They've observed what works, and they're trying to administer it. When your dog shows up with that squeaky toy while you're crying or anxious or overwhelmed, they're not oblivious to your pain. They're responding to it with the most powerful tool they have for changing emotional states in their world. Number 6. The difference between showing and giving. Some dogs bring the toy close, but never quite hand it over. They parade around with it, making sure you see it, head held high, doing little play bows or zoomies while keeping the object firmly in their possession. This behavior reveals a distinction researchers have identified between presentational and transactional gift-giving in canines. When your dog shows you the toy without releasing it, studies on attention-seeking behavior indicate they're creating what ethologists call a shared focus event. Your dog wants your eyes on them. The toy is the reason for you to look, to track their movements, to become absorbed in their presence. Brain imaging studies of dogs during these displays show activation in regions associated with social reward. They're not being selfish with the toy. They're using it as a beacon to pull your attention into their orbit. Wild canids do this with prized objects to reinforce pack bonds, to say, "Look at what I have, look at me, see me as capable and worthy." Your dog is performing for you, and the toy is the prop that makes the performance meaningful. They're not trying to make you jealous or start a chase. They're trying to be seen by you, to exist in your full attention, to matter in your awareness. The toy is just the excuse. Number 7. What happens when you ignore the offering? When your dog brings you a toy and you don't respond, something shifts in their behavior that's easy to miss. Research on canine disappointment responses shows that ignored gestures create a measurable change in approach behavior over time. Your dog might bring the toy closer, or drop it more insistently, or add vocalizations like whines or soft barks. Studies tracking these escalation patterns reveal that dogs are testing whether the failure of communication was a fluke or a rejection. If you consistently ignore the toy offerings, behavioral data shows most dogs will eventually decrease the frequency of these approaches. but not because they've stopped wanting connection. They've learned that this particular method of reaching you doesn't work. What you've taught them is that their preferred language of relationship has no receiver on the other end. Researchers studying long-term bonding patterns have found that dogs whose connective gestures go unacknowledged often shift to other, sometimes less desirable behaviors to secure attention. Barking, jumping, destructive chewing. The need for connection doesn't disappear. It just finds other outlets. Every time your dog brings you a toy and you're absorbed in your phone, or too busy, or you just don't engage, you're closing a door they're trying to open. Number 8. The real meaning behind the ritual. Everything your dog does with these toys, every approach and offering and stare, is part of a conversation they're trying to have with you in the only language their biology gives them. Studies across ethology, neuroscience, and behavioral psychology converge on one conclusion about object-presenting behavior in domestic dogs. It's a bonding mechanism that predates play. Your dog isn't asking you to throw the ball. They're asking you to recognize what they're doing, which is trying to build something between you using the tools they have. When your dog brings you their favorite toy, they're saying, "You matter to me. I want to share good things with you. I trust you with what I value. I'm trying to create a moment where we both exist in the same emotional space." The toy is a translation device for feelings that don't have another form. So the next time your dog walks up with that squeaky toy or tennis ball or tattered rope, take a breath and understand what's actually happening. They're not interrupting you. They're inviting you into something that matters to them. Share this with someone who has a dog. Subscribe to the channel where we reveal what your dog is really trying to tell you in those everyday moments you might be missing. Your dog is speaking. The question is whether you're listening.